What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. So this is Chasing LA Season 2, Episode 2. So we start this episode off. We pick up at Andre's party. He comes in. Everybody is cheering and wishing him a happy birthday and all the good stuff. Everybody looks nice. The party looked nice. It looked like almost everybody was in, following the dress code or the costume situation or whatever. Now, Q, I gave you a pass last week because I know this ain't easy, and I'm trying to have a fresh, clean slate with you, sir. But I didn't hear nothing in this scene, so I'm just go ahead and just pretend like I understood what was being said. But the gist of what I got was Andre. It was Andre. It was Poetic. Shout out to Poetic for liking my review and following me down to the Instagram. Shout out, bruh. Thank you. Welcome. Poetic, Jayla, Ian, King Fly. He liked it too, but we go back to last season, boo. And Andre. And so they were talking. What I gathered was basically they were talking about the party and how nice it was and how happy Andre was and everything like that. Andre was saying how thankful he was and he was glad that Jayla showed up. Let the bygones be bygones, let the past be the past. He threw a little shade at official King Payne. He introduced Poetic. It looked like Jeremy was interested in who Poetic was. And he was kind of like, so who your friend? Who your friend? Who your friend? Who's that? And they introduced everybody. But honestly, that's all I got from that scene. If more was said, if more was what I was supposed to get, then I didn't hear it. I apologize, but I didn't hear it, people. So, then we meet Nicole Ray. Now, I'm just going to just say this. First impressions, I don't like her. And what I mean by that is, I don't mean personally because I don't know her. I might meet her in person and she might be cool as a fan. But what I'm saying is, y'all, I don't like people who are shady unnecessarily for no reason to be shady. We introduce her and she immediately it's just shade. Her confessionals are just shade. Like, she didn't say nothing nice or nothing positive the whole time. Now, the one thing I will give her credit for is it seemed like she'll say the same thing about you that she'll say to you. So I can give her credit for that because she was letting people know how she felt. But it was unnecessary. I was like, you don't know these people. Where's this coming from? And the other thing that made it even worse is that people were saying nice things about her. Like Hershey was saying nice things about her. And she's steadily shading Hershey. She's shading Andre. She's shading King Fly. I just didn't think it was necessary, but we'll get there. But she's a celebrity hairstylist. She has her own salon called Red Carpet Hair Studio. She does a podcast. She does event planning, but she says she only do the events for herself and for her close friends. So I guess that ain't really a business. We find out later on she's got a beautiful home, so she's doing something right, honey. She living good. And she is beautiful. And she seemed like she got it going on. She just seemed really, really shady for no damn reason. So, Hershey started talking on TikTok. And so Hershey's showing up for her to do one of Hershey's wigs. And she's invited Hershey to her friend's giving situation. This is an example of what I mean by her being unnecessarily shady. Hershey shows up with her wig in a bag because she don't walk around with wigs because Hershey LaCour is her alter ego. She immediately starts shading the wig. Well, that's why she came to you, ma'am. That is why Hershey showed up with a wig for you to style. She said, hey, my wig is dry. It needs some professional attention, and that's why I came here. So if the person comes in the door saying, listen, I know my hair looking real effed up right now. Can you help a sister out? Was it necessary to shade it? Like, anyway, I ain't going to dwell on it. I said my piece on it. So let me just go ahead and finish up this scene since I done already jumped ahead. So, Hershey says, listen, I want to bring you around some of my friends, but I'm letting you know now, listen, they can sometimes be a little bit much. Some of them are really, really cool people, and those are the people I'm going to introduce you to. Some of them, maybe not so much. But listen, and she said, well, I don't know about inviting people down to my friends giving if they're gonna be acting a fool. Her, she was like, listen, if they get to acting a fool, you call the police on them. Like, I ain't gonna feel no kind of way about that. If they start acting stupid down to your house, put them out. They put them out. Um, so she said that the dress code is shades of nude. That'll be important later. But that's the dress code, shades of nude. So then we hop back over to King Payne, official King Payne. He's at his it's not a salon. It's more than a booth, but not a salon. It's like his own little space. It looks like he's renting out like an apartment, but he's turned it into his studio. Which, listen, I ain't mad at you. We had a whole Corona going on, and people had to get in where they fit in and figure it out. And so I ain't even mad at you if you created your own little safe space where people could come in and get their services and roll out. I ain't mad at you, King Payne. So we meet another of the new people this week, and his name is Rich Bomb. He's a rapper. And he another one that just had unnecessary stuff to say. He was negative too. I said, what is going on with these negative Nancys? Why ain't nobody coming around the group and like, you know what? I just want to see what it's giving. I want to meet these people and see. Like Poetic. Poetic was like, listen, I'm just happy to be here. Let me see what's going on. Let me see what it's giving. And I just felt like Rich came in real aggressive, like, King Payne was like, oh, you do music? I do music. He was like, yeah, I've been doing music for a long time. And Rich was like, I looked up some of King Payne music on YouTube. And as far as I'm concerned, it's trash. Oh. Well, tell us how you really feel. Okay. I mean, we saw some clips of his music. It was, it was alright. I mean, so he was doing, official King Payne was shaping him up. Dude got dread, so he was kind of shaping him up and doing a little this and a little that. I'm gonna just let that stay there. So Jayla comes in while they're there. And Jayla tells King Payne about the party, and of course he was like, I know you went. I know. I heard all about it. Like, I know everything. I heard all about it. Now, to Jayla's credit, Jayla is absolutely trying to be nice about the situation. She said the party, she wasn't throwing any shade at all. She said the party was really nice, and every time, King Payne tried to throw some shade and was like, oh, I mean, did they have paper plates and napkins? And she said, you know what? It was a nice event. Like, I really feel like it was one of Andre's better events. Like, it was really nice. I really had a good time. Like, she's really being positive. She's really trying to, like, be like, yes, it was good. And King Payne insists on being negative. Now, she did say that she's not sure where she stands with King Fly, because she felt like he was throwing a little shade. And King Payne was like, listen, let me tell you something. You ain't figured out yet that those people are not your friends. They keep acting funny. They keep acting shady because they not really your friends. And the faster you figure that out, the better off you'll be. The faster you figure out that these people ain't really your friends. But let me say this to you, Jayla. Here's going to be the problem. And you probably already know that because this show has already been filmed. It's hard when you are in a space where you have friend groups that don't get along. It's hard to walk that line because somebody wants you to choose a side, basically. And it sounds like King Payne is going to force you to choose a side. Because it sounds like that he absolutely was not happy that you have made up with Andre and that you are commingling and doing events and going places. So it's gonna be hard. And I feel like that's part of what we're gonna see unfold this season. But I'm gonna give you kudos for trying to keep it up and trying to stay very positive and not throw no shade and not allowing King Payne to take you down that yellow brick road, girl, because that's where they was trying to take you. So then we're introduced to William the Baddest. Now, again, like I told y'all last week, y'all probably already familiar with William the Baddest if you were watching Bad Boys Club LA down to the Zeus. But if not, he's a white rapper. calls himself William the Baddest, and we see him meeting up with Sydney Star. Now, y'all, we all know again Sydney Star. She was on Love and Hip Hop New York. Now she on Bad Girls Club, or was on Bad Girls Club, and they seem like they're friends. Now he said that we've been on again, off again friends for a while, so I feel like they've had some bumps in the road, but ultimately this was a good conversation, and this conversation gave us a little insight into who William is. You know, he's from New Orleans. He said he's been through a lot in his life. He got, you know, his family was affected by Hurricane Katrina. His mom was on drugs. His dad was on drugs. He said his dad is in jail for murder. His mom has disappeared. He went to Dallas. I don't know if he relocated to Dallas after Katrina, or at a late, you know, or a later date. And he said he just been making music, and so, you know, he's got a rough history. He said, you know, but I'm just trying to get to the money, honey. I'm just trying to make it work. So it was cool to see him with Sydney Star, and, you know, had him talk about everything. And she was saying how much he looks up to her and how much of a great influence she's been on him. So it was great. It was great to see the two of them interacting, and all that good stuff. That was cool. That was cool. Then we had a scene with King Fly, Andre, and Poetic. King Fly was doing some content for his YouTube channel with his natural care. He was creating a facial using everyday products you can get out of the grocery store, and, you know, something to put on his channel. So I thought it was cute. Poetic was there. We found out that Poetic went out with Jayla after Andre's birthday party. They sort of went to like the after party. They went to the little club situation, and he said it was a good time until Jayla got to acting a fool. He said that they were in the bathroom and the guy was rude, and then Jayla said something to him, and then the guy said something back, and then it turned into a whole situation. Jayla, he said in defense of Jayla, the dude was rude to her. So I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt that dude was rude to her. But Jayla, you got to do a better job of holding on to your emotions. Everything don't have to go to a 10, ma'am. Everything does not have to go to a 10. But we saw King Fly, you know, do his little facial. He looked like it was real cute or whatever for his channel. And Poetic said he had a good time, and that the facial was really nice. He said it, you know, and it was everyday products. It was an avocado, it was honey, and it was yogurt, and it was said it was for the puffiness under your eyes. I said, okay, I see you, King Fly, giving tutorials and knowing what you talking about and stuff. Like, I thought that was cute. Thought that was real cute. So we see Poetic is really becoming a part of, you know, the group. And so far, out of the new people we done met, Poetic, you my favorite so far. Now, I don't know if you're going to be my favorite by the end of this season, because things change. I might end up loving Nicole and hating you, bruh. But right now, so far, so good. Everything is everything. So we get to Nicole's house for her Friendsgiving situation, and Hershey shows up first. Now, Hershey is following the nude dress code, you know, the shades of nude, the dress code, and everything looks nice. And then Andre shows up. He got on his nude, and then King Fly shows up, and he does not have on any nude. Now, let me say this. In King Fly, sir, there is absolutely no reason in the world. All this time you be dressing. You be dressing. Okay, I'm going to give you credit where credit is due. You be putting together some ensembles, okay? How you ain't had no nude on that? He said it was at the last hour. So I guess what you was trying to say was you got invited at the last minute, at the last hour. Bruh, you didn't have no nude. You could have just put on that MCM jacket you wore last week. And been part of the dress code, sir. And Hershey said, bruh, what's up with the dress? You ain't the dress code. So what we find out is that Hershey was invited, but Hershey done added Andre as his +1, and then King Fly as his +2, and he had invited Jayla as his +3, but Jayla didn't show up, but she invited somebody as her +1, and he still showed up even though Jayla didn't show up. Listen, let me explain etiquette to the people in the back. First of all, when you get invited somewhere, If you do get a plus one, it is a plus one. It is not a plus two. It is not a plus three. If you get invited somewhere and the person says, hey girl, I done ran into a situation, I done double booked myself, I'm not going to that event that I asked you if you wanted to go, just consider yourself uninvited too. Unless you knew them people. Just consider yourself uninvited. How you gonna show up to a situation that you wasn't even invited to and the person who was invited ain't showing up? That's a lot right there, y'all. Now, I know we filming a show, and I get it that they was trying to figure out a way to incorporate the cast into this situation. But that was a lot. Now, to give Hershey credit, Hershey went to the host and said, listen, this is what's going on. My plus one got a plus one, and then this plus two, and the next person is coming, but they ain't coming, but they bringing they plus one. I mean, I got to give you credit, Hershey, that you went and you took care of it. But, baby, that was a whole mess, and you know that was a whole mess. Now, Nicole comes downstairs and, she is being herself, her shady ass self. Now, that dress she had on was beautiful. I give you that, baby. You look good. But we sit down to talk, and she immediately starts getting on King Ian about not being in the in dress code. I mean, you wasn't in the dress code, so I ain't even gonna say nothing about that, child. You wasn't in the dress code, and she did tell you to your face. I mean, she talked about you behind your back too, but she said it to your face, and she told you she was gonna let it slide this time. But she did not appreciate you showing up to her event out of event protocol. Now, 2 hours later, the rich what's his name? The rich bomb boy shows up. So first of all, how you just met Jayla and you Jayla's plus one, Jayla don't show up, but you show up 2 hours late. What is wrong with y'all people? Who raised y'all? Who shows up 2 hours late to an event they wasn't even invited to? Child, that's all we got for this episode. I don't know what else to say. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Am I tripping? Am I doing too much? Am I being extra? Hit me up. Let me know. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.